what this challenge looks like is what we see here. In fact, this one is actually available on the Too Tall Toby website. So I think I'm just going to do it right from the Too Tall Toby website. So here we go. We go to tootalltoby.com. Once we go to tootalltoby.com, we're going to say access the full library. And this model here is up at the top of the library. It is what we call a featured challenge practice model. And this week's featured challenge practice model is brought to you by MacroPad. So thank you, MacroPad, for sponsoring these featured challenges. And I'm going to say 250808. Click here to begin. And click here to begin. And go! So you can see here that this model is an eccentric reducer. Kind of a cool model here you might see in the real world. Certainly a good one for you to practice if you're trying to learn by doing. Practice by doing. This is something that you could definitely benefit from in the world of 3D printing, creating a little reducer here, taking a larger diameter down to a smaller diameter. And so for me, if I'm looking at this print, the first thing I'm going to think about is where should the origin be located? And I think that on a model like this, I'm going to be tempted to put the origin at the center of one of these circles. But upon further inspection, seeing that this is kind of like a blend, we're getting into kind of a blend region here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with a layout. So I'm going to put the origin down here on the front plane. I'm going to begin a sketch on the front plane, and I'm going to put the origin down there. And then my sketch on the front plane, I'm just going to kind of lay this geometry out. This is a good strategy when you're first getting into lofting and sweeping. If you're not really sure what the actual loft or the sweep is going to look like, then it's good to kind of start out just by creating a layout of what this thing looks like from one side, maybe create a second layout from another side if you need to, and then see if that helps you to kind of put things together. You can start to go one feature at a time and put those things together and hopefully come up with the solution. So now we want to take a look at some of the Toby notes. So we can see here that all the outer faces are meant to be tangent. So that's going to be important for our solution. We can see here that there's a straight section here. So maybe there's like a line down here in this region, like a little straight section, a little straight line down here between these two radii 40 and radii 35. We see here that these two faces are true cylinders, so true cylindrical faces. That tells me that maybe I want to just make those as an extrusion rather than making those as part of the loft. And then there's some hints over here in case people are just getting into the world of sweeping and lofting. So hint, blend using a loft or a sweep. Well, I'm probably going to do this using a loft. I think it makes the most sense to do it using a loft. Hint number 2, use a guide curve on the top and a guide curve on the bottom. So 2 guide curves for this challenge. Okay, that works for me. And then hint number 3, match the tangency of the blend to the cylindrical faces using options in the loft or sweep. And then it says see tutorial videos, and that's the tutorial that we're going to go through right now. So let's just keep those Toby notes in mind as we go through this challenge. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this challenge over onto my second screen. I know we took a couple of minutes to come up with a game plan there, but I think it's always good to come up with a game plan before you actually jump into your 3D CAD. And if you agree, be sure to hit the like button on this video. So let's start out here using, I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use 2 different CAD systems for this live solve. Let me jump into SolidWorks. I think I'll bring up my keyboard cam as well. Remember what our time was. So you can see here in data and analytics, we were able to come up with a solve time of 10 minutes and 29 seconds, and that was using SolidWorks. And one of the cool things about the app is that then you can kind of experiment and see if you can get faster over time, maybe doing the same challenge over and over again. So I'm going to say try again here, and I'm going to give this thing a second try. So I'm going to say reveal drawing and go. And this time I'm going to solve it using Onshape. Let's see if we can do it any faster. So create document. I'm going to call this document 25-08-08 eccentric. Great. I'm going to lose time on spelling. Reducer. Okay, and this is going to be a public document, so if you want, you could search for this document. Front plane, begin a sketch, S key, get normal to, N key. I'm going to click here, come over to 30, enter, come over in this direction, 67, enter, come over in this direction, 30, enter, come up in this direction, 50, enter, come back in this direction. And what I'm going to do is I'll just put my mouse over this point here so that I can wake that up so it retains that 30 length. And then we're going to come out here with a radius of 35. We're going to come up at an angle, come back here with a radius of 40. Come over here with a straight line, exactly vertical to the origin, and then close that thing off with a height of 80. And then we can just add in a couple of more relationships here. This will be tangent, and this will be, what am I missing here? Where's the other another tangency? Oh, this will be 30 as well up here. Or I could just make these vertical. V for vertical here. Okay. Oops. V for vertical. There we go. Nice fully defined sketch. Exit that sketch. And now we're going to go to our right plane. S key, begin a sketch, and we're going to create a circle here. Wake up this midpoint, come up to the top, just like we did before. S key, extrude. That's going to go up to vertex, and it's going to go up to this point here, just like we did in the previous tutorial. Now we're going to go to the right plane, and we're going to pick this point here, and then S key, plane. And that lets us create a new plane over here at that location. S key, begin a sketch. That way we can just wake up this midpoint. That's the reason you might want to create an explicit plane there. And now we're going to bring that out to up to vertex, and that's going to go up to this point here. Again, using that master layout can really pay off. Front plane, begin a sketch. We'll take, we're going to do this curve, this line, and this curve. And then we're going to use the convert tool to convert those. So convert those, and that would be one of our guides. It's nice in Onshape when you have a guide as the entire sketch. So I'll call this one guide top. And then for the bottom one, I don't really need to pick for the bottom one because I can just pick that individual entity pretty easily. However, the discussion we had earlier about features being associated or related does still, doesn't really pertain as much in Onshape, but it does still pertain a bit. So I'll do the same thing. Kind of like gives us a nice one-to-one also. So guide bottom. And now we're going to do our loft command. So we're going to go here to loft and loft this face into this face. And just like we saw in the previous example in the SolidWorks tutorial, here in our profile condition, we can say match tangent. And what that means is it's going to match the tangency to this face. And down here in our profile condition, we can say match tangent. And just like in the previous example, that's going to match the tangency to that face as well. And so now when we go down to our guides and continuity, we can pick on this single line at the bottom. But for this top one, instead of picking the single line, we do want to pick the sketch from the tree. So we'll call that one guide top, pick the sketch from the tree, and then that pulls it in. And then finally, this is going to be an add and a merge with all. Add and merge with all. And boom. And now we're going to perform a shell, 5 millimeters. We'll put that shell here and here. And then we're going to put a chamfer on this thing at 2 millimeters, 45 degrees, this edge and this edge. And then we're going to go into Onshape and we're going to say assign material. And this material is going to come from the Too Tall Toby custom materials library. Make sure that you've got that in your Onshape setup. The material is going to be ABS. And we're going to go here to the mass. And the mass is coming out at 124 grams. And so now we can come over here and we can type in 124 and boom, we got it. 3 minutes and 54 seconds. So we were able to do that one a little quicker. You can see here that we can tag this as Onshape. That's what I've got set up as my CAD system in my profile. And so the cool thing about the app is that you can experiment with different workflows. You could say, oh, what if this time I did it as a sweep instead of doing it as a, instead of doing it as a loft, maybe I'll try and do it as a sweep. And then you can go back in and you can kind of see in your data and analytics which CAD system you were using, what the order was of the runs. Of course, once you do it once, if you do it the second time, it's almost certainly going to be faster, but it's kind of a cool way of using the app. And then the final point here before we reveal the winner is that if we didn't know about that little trick, if we only knew about the guide curves, so if we go in here to our loft and we edit this loft and then we change this to not use the match tangent, so none and none. So now it's technically not perfectly tangent around the sidewalls here. It's kind of coming in at like a little bit more of a sharp, you can actually see it here pretty well. It's kind of coming in here at like a sharp point instead of being a nice blend. So, so here's what it looks like with the tangent match. And then here's what it looks like without the tangent match. So it kind of comes in sharp there. If we were to do it that way and then examine the mass, it's a negligible difference, 123.8, you're still going to be within tolerance. So even if you didn't know that little trick, you still could have gotten the point on the leaderboard. It's just, the value of learning by doing and watching these tutorials is that you can kind of learn some of these more nuanced tips and tricks. So with that, now we can get into our first 42 here on the website. So we can see that it looks like on the website live here during this live stream, there were 12 people who were able to complete this thing. Let's look at the first 42 and see who those 12 people were. So from the time it was released at 1:41 p.m., Rambro's Workshop, our world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling, using Fusion, finished the model in just 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Wow, that is incredible, Rambros. GG and well done. And Lotos coming in here in just 2 minutes and 59 seconds from the time it was released. And Victor K here coming in 3 minutes and 10 seconds. I think it would have taken me 3 minutes and 10 seconds just to get the thing refreshed and to look at the print and come up with a game plan. So you guys doing it in 2 minutes from the time it was released. Wow, that is incredible. So well done, and congratulations to Rambros Workshop earning that second point of the day. And that is our second challenge here on Model Monday Live. I hope that you enjoyed that Onshape tutorial, and if you did, be sure to hit the like button. Leave me some comments down below about what you learned from that live solve, and be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to share and reshare. Be sure to join the party.